the original administrators of the West Michigan Conference really being nice to these other guys and letting them into a conference that has been stable, more stable than any other conference in the entire state of Michigan. Well, I like the way they split it up. You know, we got West Michigan Conference opponents in what they call West Michigan Conference 2. You got North Muskegon, Mason County, Hesbury, Hart, Ravenna, Holton, and Shelby. And the other teams, the 7 bigger schools, so to speak, are in the other division. And I think they got it split it up just right, as a matter of fact. By the way, going back to 1952, and the headlines on it, this is in 1952, believe it or not. Scottville threatens to quit the West Michigan Conference, and the subtitle right below that, the subheading said, "School head says Hart, North Muskegon too big." Back in the 1950s and the late 1940s, North Muskegon and Hart were dominating in the West Michigan Conference. Now they're in the Rivers Division, the so-called smaller division. My, how times have changed.
We actually had taken to the West Michigan Conference a couple years ago because we had 6 teams, although we were called the Lake State Conference. We only had 6 teams. They had the 8 teams, and we've always said, hey, just bring us all in, and we could be one conference. And, you know, of course, it was, well, that gives us 7 and 7, which is what we ended up anyway. So just having that piece of it, we play each other all the time anyway. Most of my non-conference games are with West Michigan Conference schools, so it wasn't like we were unfamiliar with each other. The nice thing about it now is my non-conference games are now conference games, and they mean a little bit more. And you don't want to take away from your non-conference schedule, but now you're playing, every game means you're playing for a conference championship as opposed to, well, we kind of get a night off because it's not really a conference game, and you know, those types of things. So from a competition standpoint, it's going to really pick it up for us. That's the one thing I do like.
For us, speaking in football, we're going to gain an advantage because we're going to be playing almost all bigger schools, which with the new playoff points, that is definitely a huge advantage for us. Plus, it's nice to have Leroy Hackley, the OV athletic director, with us. He served in the OK Conference for many years, so he has some good knowledge and insight that he can share with us. And then I guess this also applies to the middle school as well with the divisions. We did a north and south division for the middle school based on geographic location.
The tier that Mason County Central and Hart, Shelby, Holton, Hesperia, North Muskegon, and Ravenna are part of are the Rivers, and Manistee, Ludington, Whitehall, Montague, Orchard View, Fremont, and Oak Ridge are the lakes.
Some sports that we will have one division, and so I definitely enjoy that: wrestling, soccer, bowling, just the couple off the top of my head, maybe cross country too, I can't remember. So some of those will still be competing with the other division. Some of us will just be divisional only, but I'll still in non-conference or non-divisional games, I should say.
I've been probably an advocate for 25 years of some sort of change with the West Michigan Conference, like an addition. So I wasn't opposed. We weren't opposed to the WAC. When the WAC was created in the 90s. I always felt like in the West Michigan Conference, if you were one of the polar ends, if you were in the furthest north, the furthest south, the biggest enrollment, the smallest enrollment, you need to be open to any kind of change. And I think certainly we're excited.
We're looking forward to it. It's a nice conference to be into. Like I said, it's a well-respected conference. They do well on the state. They've done well on the state level, and so we're just hoping to ride that coattail, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
I think it's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be exciting to see where the rivers and the lakes are in the next couple of years.